everyone, chapter number 511 of Kingdom manga is out, and this manga is giving me goosebumps right now. It's a fucking hell of a chapter. There is no word to describe it. This is absolutely fantastic. I would just like to visit it from the back. The last 40 or 50 chapters of this Kingdom manga has been fantastic. Whoever reads this manga is reading one hell of a gem. There is no word to explain it. This chapter is probably one of the best in the recent times, but taking nothing away from the last few chapters, because all the chapters have been brilliant, and this one is even brilliant than the rest of them. So in the last chapter, Osen goes missing. Everyone is really worried, and then they decide to wait for 2 days for Osen to come back. And finally, after 2 days, when he doesn't come back, the big members of the Skin Army have a meeting. So Shane, Karyoten, Moten, Ohon, and Yotanwa and Kanki comes in together. Kanki is seen with his real big personality. He has an aura of his own. So when he comes in, Morton explains to them the scenario at hand. Osen is missing and they are in trouble. So this is the scenario, and after that they realize something is wrong with Retsubi, and every one of them realizes that Osen knew this already, and that's why he left the place in search of something that can be used to escape from the trap that is being set in Retsubi by Riboku. So they realize this and then have this discussion with the big members of the Kin army. Morton explains to everyone that Retsubi was fortified in such a way that it could have been easily conquered by army. That's why the Haishin unit and the mountain tribes captured the city within a single day. That was the very reason, and the biggest reason is after we see the map. In the map we realize that the reason for this low profile fortification of Retsubi is that it can be recaptured back once the Zhao loses this territory. Zhao can recapture it back, and there's a bit more of a problem. Once the opposition traps this, captures this Retsubi, they set into the capital, and it's kind of a bait. The members of opposition, on having high confidence of capturing Retsubi, goes into the capital city without any kind of fear, but they miss the trap that is actually set there. And this trap has been set by none other person than Riboku. And what happens is that it's kind of a trap which lures the opposition and gets them killed. So once they set out for the capital, the Zhao army from the mountain recaptures the Retsubi and then follows them from behind. So they get completely trapped between the capital and Retsubi, the opposition army. This is the biggest trap that I have ever seen in this Kingdom manga, and it is said by none other than Riboku himself, the great general of Zhao. And I was expecting something very scary up his sleeves, and this is something that he has revealed. Hawken has not come up in the last 300 chapters, so that we will be seeing soon, I think, in this arc, but this has been fantastic. So Morton explains them that they have only 3 options. The first is to go ahead with their plan, and by leaving many members at Retsubi, this will reduce the work. This will reduce the man force of the army which will attack the Kantan. So that can lead to fatal deaths that can lead to losing battles. So that's the first option, which is really difficult. The second option is to fortify Retsubi with a stronger fortification, but that will take days. So that option is also not possible. And the third option, he says, is the most feasible option, that is to return back. And this is where things really become really interesting. The Kanki just blah blahs them all and then tells them to shut up. He tells them that they're just newbies, they don't know anything about battles, and everyone gets shocked. And this is where we have known Kanki is a great general. Even though he is a bad person, he is a great strategist, just like Osen. Here Osen's and Kanki's personality have been compared. No one realizes this there has been a comparison, and both are at the same level. There's certainly no doubt after this chapter. Even though Osen is the chief general of this whole battle, Kanki is no superior, no inferior than him. He is at equal terms with Osen, and then he explains them that there is a fourth option. There is a fourth option. We get shocked at this, and this is why this chapter is brilliant. So he tells them that there is one more option. They leave few members at Retsubi and attack Kantan, the capital of Zhou, as quick as possible, without giving enemy any time to react, and this can help them. But it's very difficult. It depends on how quick you can attack, and that's why Osen left to see the probability of how well the enemy reacts. That's what he went to measure when he left the Qin army, and that's important. That's important. In the next chapter, we'll have to wait and watch. Till then, it's a chapter worth reading for everyone. Those who don't read this, I think they are missing something really great. So this is it from my side. Thank you.